like, the thought comes up, God, there's traffic again, and we're like, actually, I can come back to my experience. Yeah? This is where we move on to mindfulness of dharmas. So this is a Pali term, and it means, well, in this context, it means teaching. So it basically means, given that I'm in this state, what would help? Yeah. So the given that I'm in this state is mindfulness of chitta. Yeah, you've got that far. It's like you recognise that your mood is a mood. You recognise that it's not reality, right? You recognise that it's a mood. Given that I'm in this mood, what would be a good thing for me to do now? So the what would be a good thing for me to do now is mindfulness of dharmas. So that might be, you might be a very good student of Buddhism, and you know all these lists and of different qualities, and you might think, oh yes, I'm going to practice patience, for example, and you bring patience to mind, you practice it. It might be you just know that, when this happens, it helps if I do this. It might just be knowing that it's 11 o'clock at night, I'm trying to write this email, actually this is not the right time to be doing this, and you close the computer, make yourself a glass of water and go to bed. So it's catching, mindfulness of chitta is catching yourself, it's going, oh, look at what's happening. Mindfulness of dharmas is going, yes, what generally helps in this situation is this, and then you do that. Again, easy for me to say, but yeah, with practice, we can learn and we can remember, when we do something like that, we close our computer at 11 and we think that now is not the time to write that email. In the morning, sort of notice the difference. And then as we notice, that reinforces us, our intention. So the next time, that will help us. So yes, it's difficult, but yes, we can cultivate that. So I'm starting to slightly run out of time. Yeah, so actually I can start to summarise. So I've said a bit about what Prapanca is. These crazy thoughts that we just love to hate to think, but we can't stop ourselves. The conditions that give rise to that, and how we work with that, namely the four satipatthanas, the four spheres or foundations of mindfulness, the Buddha's core teaching on mindfulness, supported, as it were, by the teaching of day-to-day mindfulness, having our lives in basic good order. But yeah, there's a few points to make before I finish. The first is that this teaching on the four satipatthanas is bigger than Prapanca. It's our whole life. It's all the ways in which we push experience away or want to pull things towards us. It's Prapanca is a particularly relevant form for all of us, but it's all the ways in which we jump out of experience, basically, and come out into our heads and don't do what actually serves us. I'll just give a little example. So I work in London Bridge in central London, and so I get sometimes I cycle, but usually I get the tube. And I was getting the tube a few weeks ago, and I was reading my book, my Buddhist book on life with full attention. But I got to the end of one chapter, and then I just started kind of reading the next chapter, but without really thinking about it. Yeah, I was quite tired. I think it might have been a Friday, and I wasn't you know, when you just sort of catch yourself going through the motions with something. And I thought, hold on a minute, I'm getting off at the next stop. I don't need to sort of in a half-aware state start reading the next chapter. So that was mindfulness of chitta. Yeah. So instead, I thought, I'll do something that I've done before in the tube. I'll just look at people. You know, I just looked at people. You know, and here these people were, and I just had this natural sense of kindness to these people, and it felt so obvious. Yeah, it's like here these people are going to work. It's whatever it was probably a bit late for work. It's probably about 7:25. Supposed to be at work for 7:30. And I thought, of course, I want these people to be happy. It's like it's a complete no-brainer. Of course, I want them. Their day to go well, I want their life to go well. Okay, so that's that arose, and I could have just kept on reading the book, and then, you know, my stop comes, and I close the book and get off the train. But because I saw what I was doing, I chose to do something else based on what I'd learned in the past, and look, mind surprises. Yeah. The iceberg sort of reveals a bit of itself. We come more into the world, and what a difference. So it's hard, but it's so worth sort of putting the effort in to get to that point of, oh, I'm doing this. What else? What would be better? Yeah. Also, I wanted to say, yeah, I don't know if any of you noticed this aspect of the image at the beginning, where some of the people, some of the workers busy cutting away at the ice, some of them are under the waterline. So this is where it gets even more tricky, because a lot of the time, I mean, when I was describing what Prapanca is, lights will have been going on, think, yeah, I'll do that, but a lot of it we don't actually know, or we don't realise we're doing it. That is tricky. So often we're thinking something, but we don't quite realise we're thinking it, and it's there, it's having an effect on us. So we're sitting there thinking, this talk is going on a bit, or whatever it is, but we don't quite realise. So what, oh my God, that's quite a kind of urgent situation, isn't it? We're doing something, we're telling ourselves we've made a mistake, or life is going to be great when I get out of this situation, but we don't actually know that we're even doing it. So we're causing ourselves suffering, we're doing something to ourselves which is causing us to contract and get smaller, and we don't even know it. I mean, yeah, it's concerning, isn't it? So it's like, and if it's not concerning, then yeah, it certainly should be. So it's all the more urgent and crucial that we learn to see what we're doing. The more that we're in sensation as sensation and feeling as feeling tone, the more we can actually, we notice there's more of us there, and we think, oh God, I've been telling myself this story without actually realising it. So it's so crucial. Yeah, and I also wanted just to issue a little a mindfulness warning. So some of you might be thinking, oh, this sounds really important. I'm going to make sure I'm mindful now. When next time this happens, I'm going to be mindful. That will do it. Unfortunately, again, it's not quite as simple as that. We may have been practicing mindfulness for many years, and in fact, this is something that I'm still having to learn. So it's something that we need to keep remembering time and time again. Through mindfulness, some of you are experienced meditators, through mindfulness we can experience very positive, bright, open, clear states of mind. So it's easy to think, that's what mindfulness is, that's what mindfulness should be. So we get into the traffic, we have that thought, we get into this story, and then we think, no, be mindful, but we can't make ourselves, we can't sort of remove our experience as it is and replace it with a mindful one, because that's what we know is better. We blooming well have to start from the ground up again. We have to come into our body. We have to feel our feelings. We have to go, oh God, instead of raging at the person, we need to feel how much we're hurting actually, and actually feel it, and then maybe we're upset, and there's no quick route. You can't just go straight there. You have to actually come into experience as it is, and then, through all that, you can see, and now I am telling myself that blooming story yet again. Actually, I'm going to do this instead, and lo and behold, we're happier, we're freer. Yeah. So, yeah, no direct path in that regard. So, yes, to mitigate the possibility of Vajrachakshu waving very vigorously at me and maybe even jumping on me, I should start to finish. Basically, I just wanted to say that, some of us here are practicing Buddhists, and we know that to practice mindfulness in this way that I've been describing is key to our practice, to our life. But actually, it's key to us all, whether we, whatever we are, whatever values we live by. We all want to be happy, right? And it's this tendency to jump out of experience and go, I wanted it to be better, should have been better, if only that person did. That is this natural human tendency, which doesn't serve us. Yeah. So every moment we've got the option of, based on everything that's happened in the past, we've got this option here in this moment. Do we go down that road again? Do we say, no, I don't accept this, or do we inquire in? Do we come a bit closer into our experience? That will lead us to a more fulfilled, happier state of being, however we're wanting to live, whatever our values are. It's like we have this mystery. Our life is a mystery, right? We don't. It's easy for me. It's easy to kind of gloss over it. We're kind of. There's so much we know about ourselves. We're so intelligent, right? We could write a list of 1,000 things that we know, but at the same time we can get things so wrong. I'm actually kind of realising it more as I'm just sort of saying this and just taking you all in a bit more. It's like, I don't know how many people we are here. Maybe there's 25, 30 of us. All this attention, all this sensitivity, all this life, all this aliveness sitting right here, and we can go so many different ways with it. We can cause such harm in the world, by going with this, going with these thoughts. It's one thing we object to the traffic, but then what happens when we get out of the car? It's like it's there as a pathway to everyone to really. There's no. People say I've reached rock bottom. No, you haven't. There isn't a bottom. Yeah, it just there is no bottom. We can. It goes down and down and down, and so it goes up and up and up. And there's such potential that we have that we need to keep keep choosing, keep making the wise choice, so that we we step into more of what's possible. There's such scope, isn't there, for going one way or the other, and we're it's here, it's now, it's each moment. It's like, what do we choose? Do we choose the closing, or do we choose kind of coming in to life more and discovering, actually? So we know so much, but there's so much more that we don't know. So I think I'll leave it there.